Good evening, peeps. I'm Ariel Grace, and sitting next to me is the one, the only Kendra Lockhart. And we're doing the astrology show tonight. A bunch of you have asked me, like, are you guys going to be on YouTube? Yep, we're on YouTube. Are you guys going to be on Facebook? Yes, we're going to be on Facebook. And then after that, I'll be uploading to Instagram because I know that a lot of you have been watching this show during the week. So we're up, we're going, and I'll be sharing the show all month so that you guys can keep up on what's going on astrologically because we want to know like when are the best dates for us, when are dates that we need to take a pause, maybe have a think about what we're planning because these are tools that will ease you through your month and you're not fretting over things that you could be doing when you could be doing this other thing that would be for your higher and better good. So that's why we have Kendra on. And this summer, Kendra's going to be on um, July, August, and September. Those are the shows that I'm doing this summer. So watch just watch for the event things so that you guys will know where to click and when. All right. If you like the show content tonight, I always forget this. If you like the show content tonight, please like, subscribe, um, follow, whatever it is, wherever you are watching it. Okay. Because it helps the algorithms gods see we're online. All right, Kendra. So, um, okay, so I did not do any astrology research this month. Like, I know nothing. Please explain.
All right. Okay. So, what we remember from last session is we are now deep into Cancer season. And this can be a very polarizing time for people because Cancer deals with the emotional body and the archetype of mothering or getting mothered. So, that can bring up some stuff. It
Mhm.
can, especially if you are not an emotionally regulated or refined personality type. So I'm here to give you some deep anchors on how to get through the month of July and also to let you know that what we have in our favor this time, there are always planets that are a little ahead or a little behind whatever season we're in. And the good news is this is going to be a very Leo-esque July for Cancer. The best part of that is it will be empowering. The shadow side of that is it can be a little excessive or dramatic or theatrical. So just bear in mind that this is going to be a stretch into potency one way or the other for you. And keep your feet on the ground. All right, so let's kick it off. If you've got your pencils and papers, we've got some dates. There's a lot of movement going on. It's not necessarily overwhelming, but it is going to feel like a rapid month. July will fly by us. Starting with July 2nd, we have Mercury entering Leo, which is your communication style, with Leo being something that does more of a grandeur versus a humility style, which is why Virgo follows Leo, is there's always a yin yang to the pairings of before and afters. But what you're going to want to look for this month are bigger inspirations, bigger ideas, bigger dreams, whether they're your daydreams and visions of what you want or something at night. I've already had one last night. It was just straight up crazy. I don't particularly care for Tom Cruise as an actor, but he was in my dream in the role of Mission Impossible, having an extra, an extra armor made for
Right.
him that had abilities beyond what I was, familiar with. And I woke up, took notes, meditated on it, went, yeah, I'm not really tapping in on my mission to some of the skills and gifts that have been put in me and yet are not active. So thanks, Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible, for showing me the conscious. whatever. But yes, I'm very, dream state is very good for me because my dreams make sense. They're not hard to decipher. So
Right.
that's what we got with July 2nd. Very quickly, we move to July 5th. We've got a new moon in Cancer. Yes. So it's going to be a double Cancer sign. So it's going to be emotion on top of emotion. And it's
Okay.
new. So what you're going to want to do is come to the table with a way to clear and flush your feelings out in a manner that you have yet to discover or try. I am not somebody who loves that. Well, go for a walk in nature. Guess who's going to try the walk in nature? Guess who's going to really set a strong intention of, I need to give up some energy and I need to get some energy. So I will be going into earth for that because my usual go-to is fire. So I want you to try something new around the energy of new nurturing and new ways to get the old emotions out. You're planting seeds of a better habit and a better style for you around your emotional body. Not too far after that, less than a week, Venus enters Leo. More Leo time. There will be larger displays of the things that Venus is in charge of. She does health, wealth, beauty, and worth. I want you on a high note to feel a little more empowered and emboldened around those. Leo doesn't play small or shy, king of the jungle kind of energy. However, do not let your ego run away with it. Leo is a very egocentric sign. Now is not the time to turn into Spendy Wendy and make regrets as far as I overdid it here, I overdid it there. Did I overdo it in beauty? Did I overdo it in wealth? Did I overdo it in worth? What am I like? Power and force are two very, very different things, not same sides of the coin. We get a little break. We move into July 20th, where Mars is going to switch out of Taurus and into Gemini. So if you've been feeling overly stubborn around your ambition and your aggression and your action, Gemini is going to speed things up. You'll be a little lighter on your feet and a little faster to, a little quicker on the draw. Gemini really loves putting some of that motion into communicating, being curious, and socializing. Now would be an excellent time that if you've been, a homebody or a stick in the mud, get out, take one of your friends' invitation, take it up, go out, meet some new folks, and see what comes of it as far as the nature of moving around, communicating, circulating energy and power as far as your stamina. Give it let it have a little shake up like a magic 8-ball. Then we move into July 21st, which is our full moon in Capricorn. This in the Cancer season can be challenging because not only is a full moon opposite the sun with the earth in the middle, so it can feel a little pull. If you've ever had a cat, I'm talking to you. If you've ever had a cat get a little strange on a full moon, is they are sensitive to that push-pull on the tides. They would definitely have the full moon fever. It's a reality, it's science, and of course, it's metaphysics and astrology. But that full moon in Capricorn is going to be important because what you want to do, and I'll say this twice because it seems a little abstract, soften your hard edges and contain where you're bleeding all over the place. So there's going to be where do I need to mother parts of me that are too critical, and where do I need to discipline myself where I'm being too sensitive and too emotional, and that's not in my greater good. That's not for my highest self. That is, that is me against myself. Right. Challenging me in the wrong way is staying ungrown, unawake, and unrefined. You don't want to do that.
Right.
So potent. It's not necessarily the easiest, but I swear if you try it, you're going to get a lot more out of it than if you didn't. All right, and then the month slides into home base. We've got July 22nd. We move into Leo season, and the things that are going to be important with that is your visibility, is embracing a little bit of you time and being the star of your own life. Now is not when you fall back into people pleasing or too much caregiving. That's why Leo comes after Cancer, is all that nurturing and, providing for. You provide in, not out. That's why each one is a progression and a graduation of the sign before it, like I said. July 25th, we have Mercury going into Virgo. There's going to be more attention. This is where you get a break from all of that water and Cancer energy. Pay attention to more detail around your areas of work, areas you are of service, where you are most logical in your life, and where you are most accurate. This is a strengthener because Mercury likes being in Virgo. It's its home element, as Mercury is in charge of the sign of Virgo. So expect it to feel very aligned and that the frequencies are very close to each other. It's a time where you can get a boost around those areas that you're already good at. You're going to get a little better at. So you can say, here's my opportunity to just sharpen those knives and use them wisely. Now, that was a lot. What is the big overarching theme and or challenge of July? And Ariel, help me out on this one. We have two planets in retrograde. This month, Neptune goes in retrograde. So do not let your imagination and your illusion sweep you away back into the past. This is a time where you do not want to be looking in the rearview mirror and doing the what if game about what's already been. And the second is Saturn in retrograde. And a couple people are really having, some hard tests. The energy feels dense or thick regarding authority issues, parent issues, father themed issues, work situations, any sort of power plays. Saturn is the great separator. It is here to say, I'll take that because you no longer need it, even if you're in the middle of still being deeply attached to it.
Right. Yes.
So I'm going to turn it over to our master energy worker and say, what advice can you give to the listeners on the pain point of having these breakups with old authority and power structures while the imagination and illusion is on high alert with this temptation and seduction to look backwards?
Right. Okay. So first, I do want to talk about the energy wave that's swelling up. So it is going to be at its fullest around the 20th of July. So all those things that you have in motion right now, really make sure that you keep it in motion, keep moving forward, because you are going to feel like with these planets doing their thing, you are going to feel like looking in the rearview mirror. What is in the review mirror? It's already done and dusted. Done and dusted. I actually had a reading this week with a hysterical female about her not being engaged after 10 years. And I was like, well, if you want, you can wait a little bit longer or you can walk away from it. Which would you like to do? It's up to you. And her thing was looking back too much in the past of all the things that had gone wrong with this relationship. And so I reminded her again, either see that as done and dusted or let it go. Because if you hold something like this and you go into something as important as a marriage and you're still holding on to the stuff that should be done and dusted, then that marriage most likely won't stay together unless you get a really good marriage counselor. So please make sure that when you look back, say, oh, okay, I'm done with that. I'm going to move forward. I have all these great things that I'm working on, all of these great things that I'm focusing on for my present and moving into the future. Because when you're present, there is no past, there's no future, there is just right now. And it is a great practice for all of us to get into because, there's always something that is changing. There's always something that's moving, something that is expanding within us. And we don't want to be busy going this way when we can have this awesome thing that is happening right now. And so, with that being said, remember that as you move forward this month, that the energy is going to swell. It's getting to its hugest part by the 20th. And you want to get to that place. Now, a lot of my clients that have been working on side hustles, that have like put things together, that are putting up web pages, that are like busy doing stuff. Yay, you. Rock on with your bad selves. Just like Kendra. Kendra started she started a new podcast. It's called Guilt Trips. Check it out. It's really good. It's about gems and minerals. It's about jewelry. It's about the jewelry houses and the history of it. So it's really awesome. And she started it and she's keeping it going.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things that you have planned, whether they're a podcast, whether they're like I just published the last Diva Chronicles book. I'm so excited about it because it's done and it's a great story. And then I'm going to finish the last Lucy Prophet book. Yay, done. So these are all things that I'm working on right now, like even today. And so, putting all these things, don't give up on your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, your desires, because they're yours. And I don't want to hear, hey, Joanne, I don't want to hear anybody tell me that I can't do that because of this person. That's BS. I don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me that. Instead, if you're going to make excuses, make sure it's a good excuse. I'll still tell you it's an excuse. But, don't let something hold you from accomplishing what you want, your desires. All right? And that's what this energy wave right now that's moving through, that's pushing us, push, 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 like Saturn. Saturn's like the taskmaster.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his whip out, and he's beating the crap out of you guys to get you going. So he is going to go into retrograde, and we may feel a little bit of peace. I think he goes back direct in November or something, right? November or December.
You have a long time. You have a solid 4 months to work with him.
Yep.
Say, you know what? My foundation could use a remodel. You're absolutely right, Saturn. And as much as I love comfort and my survival brain is terrified of change, get excited that once you get on the other side of what goes away or what gets refined or what gets upgraded, you'll do your best to calibrate and adapt and adjust. I have been going through a very interesting June, and I'm on the other side of some shocks and some blows, and wow, it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It just was shock.
Yeah.
Yep, I was a little too comfy.
But when we find those things, we go into shock. We say, okay, we realize we're in shock. We realize that energy. Okay, I allow myself to be in shock. I allow myself to feel this. And then I say, okay, I'm not going to stay in this space. I'm going to slowly move out of it. Give yourself time. Because when you move too quickly out of some things, you may find that you get stuck in other things. So you want to make sure to clear. Everyone, make sure to clear. Take that breath. Clear your energy field. Fill yourself with light. Because when you do that, you feel that relief, release, and your resonance go up. And this summer is going to be an interesting summer already. So we want to make sure that as we move through summer and we move through all these crazy energetic things, that we stay present, we stay grounded, we stay centered, and we stay connected to source. Because when we're like that, we don't miss out on our lives or what we are creating for our lives. Because, you know, even though people like things like stability and all that, it doesn't mean that your life can't change and that
Mhm.
your life can't get better.
Exactly. Stability doesn't mean at the cost of flexibility.
Right. So we want to make sure to be flexible. We want to be earthquake proof.
Hmm.
There's 3 hurricanes headed to the Gulf of Mexico right now. So we want to be flexible. We don't want that hurricane to hit us, and we want the hurricane to come through, and we are flexing through it.
Hmm.
All right. And that is how this year is kind of going to be too. A little bit of that, like that.
We called it
But
at the beginning. We call this the Neptune years. This is where you get divided between your imagination and your illusion.
right.
And man, I'll tell you, please don't bet on the illusion.
Yeah, it's great for writing books, but it's not great for like if you get stuck into something that maybe really isn't for your highest good.
Mhm.
Don't allow yourself to spin, especially this month. Remember, keep planting those seeds and keep pushing forward. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't let someone else tell you that you can't do it. I've always like flipped people the bird and told them, "Really? You think?" and did it anyway.
The expert of you and your life is you, not somebody's opinions.
Hey,
So,
mommy.
it's been a lovely adventure with this podcast. It was my solution to a request that I wasn't comfortable with. I did not want to train the staff for free. So I made a podcast that was storytelling, history, and education all rolled into one. And 2 months later, I got the CEO of my company giving me a quote for an episode. I've got people outside of it requesting us, can you give us a little attention? Can you talk about us a little bit? I didn't
Yes.
see this coming. All I did was say, here's your request and here's how I'm going to deliver, not what you want me to do. You'll get your answer my way.
Right. Hey, Ben. All right. So here's the thing what Kendra and I every month want for you is this is for you to achieve whatever is for your highest good because, again, you never know what can happen.
Mhm.
You never know. And it could be the most wondrous thing that has ever happened to you. So make sure that you do that. Make sure that you stick with us because we have more stuff that we're going to be sharing with you astrologically speaking, and really ride this wave. Get rid of those things that take up so much space around you and within you. Release that stuff so that you have more room. You have more room for the incredible, the wondrous. And remember, everyone is different. So everyone's wants, desires, needs um, are all different and they look different to them. So don't judge people for what they want and desire. And don't judge yourself for what you want and desire. Make sure to be honest with yourself about that. Okay. But make room. Get rid of all that stuff in the review mirror.
Mhm.
Make room so all that good stuff can come to you and through you, uplift you, and help you.
Yep. Use your mind wisely. It's not time to fantasize about the past. It's not time to fear the future. It's really just a beautiful time. Oriel just gave us some solid emotional intelligence. And if you are struggling, if this Saturn Neptune complex in Pisces, I don't know if you know what house Pisces is in your chart. For me, it's career and visibility and authority. So are things a little rocky with my job right now? Sure. And I look forward to doing my own transit reading and saying, all right, so for the next 2 months, what is in my best interest as far as where I, like a card game is, where am I going to hold? Where am I going to fold? This is
Right.
backwards energy. This is review energy. This is not the time to charge.
So Bonnie wants to know, she wants you to explain what a retrograde is. What is a retrograde? Because we're going to have the Saturn retrograde,
Yep.
and we're going to have and the Neptune retrograde. So what exactly is a retrograde? Because a lot of people sometimes they don't know what it is. So
Okay.
that way, yeah.
Bonnie, that's an excellent question. And there are two ways I'm going to answer this. One is going to be what it means, and then one is going to give you an excellent visual. So planets all move at different speeds. Sometimes it looks like a planet is falling behind us because we're moving faster than it. And the tension of being ahead of another massive celestial body does create the effect of, well, if you were in front of me, you'd be pulling me forward, but because you're behind me, you're pulling me back. So it does not look like it's moving. It looks like it's retrograding or moving backwards from Earth perspective. It has nothing to do if we weren't on Earth, we'd just see planets circulating, but we're on one of the planets, so it's relative to what we are experiencing. When a planet goes into retrograde, it means it's time to take what that influences, where it influences in your chart, and what of the past is no longer working. It is review and redo time in that area. So that is why it's so tempting and exciting and thrilling to go, oh, I get to look at my past. Nope, that's not what the game is. It's to view what of the past needs a redo, review, release.
Right.
So I hope that answered that.
Yeah, it reworked. Let us know if it answered that for you, Bonnie, and if you have any other questions about it, okay? Just like we said, Saturn is going to go retrograde. When it goes retrograde, we're able to take a minute, take a breath, and go, okay, so what did we learn?
Mm-hmm.
What are we using that we're learning? And what are we getting rid of? And then when Saturn goes direct again, of course, then he'll get his whip out and, be the taskmaster.
Careful. I love Saturn. Saturn's a buddy if you let him.
You're welcome, Bonnie.
To build on that question, a great example of the best example of Neptune going retrograde in Pisces for me in my house of career and visibility and authority is it's time to take a good hard look at these ambitions and achievements that I think I want so badly that maybe need to be, how do I say it? Maybe that what I think I want isn't really in my best and highest interest. I thought that I wanted a better role at the company I'm at. Maybe it's time to take that dream of moving up, quote unquote, and ask, is this truly an alignment? Is cut the illusion? Am I here because I think it makes me happy to be in the secondary market of jewelry, or that I get to go to work with so many friends, or that I have great peers? Do I really belong here? Do I have a sense of belonging? Do I go to work where my work speaks for itself, or do I have to defend who I am? Am I appreciated? Why is there so much politicking and power play when I'm being paid for what I know and do well? Why am I using a paycheck to get in a boxing ring or, sell out on my voice and advocacy for myself and my coworkers who are not in power positions? That's what I'm going to be doing with that Saturn and Neptune combo. You better believe it.
Good. Because you are a Tiffany's girl, by the way. Huh. All right.
All right. Is that a wrap?
All right. So if you all want an astrology report done by Kendra, I've had mine. It was awesome because she did it. She explained it on video, and that was so much easier to understand than reading it.
Mm-hmm.
If you want your chart done, get a hold of her. It's K Lockhart on Facebook. All right. And you can check out Guilt Trips and you can see us again. I think we're going to be doing the astrology show either last week of July, the beginning of August for August, and then the first weekend of September, I think. So watch for us. I do have some videos that I'm going to upload for psychic tips and things like that. So if you want, check that out. Remember, if you like what you heard tonight, remember to like, follow, um, subscribe, all that good stuff. I need to practice at this. All right. So everyone, please have a safe and happy 4th of July. You know, that's my favorite holiday of the year.
Mm.
And I am doing my annual July special. It happens all of July, the whole month of July. And it's $60 for 45 minutes for intuitive readings and energy sessions. So if you want to book an appointment with me, please email me at agangofgirlsinc@gmail.com. I'm sending out the newsletter tonight. So everyone have an awesome 4th of July. Stay safe. And remember, keep your heart open and align with the energy of love. And we'll see you next month. Bye.